2 weeks ago, Peter was on this show and said the following.
I don't think Elon Musk has any intention of buying Twitter. I don't think he has the ability, the liquidity to finance such a large purchase. So I think he's just having fun.
Aha! Well, Peter Schiff is back with us today to talk about that prediction and also whether Musk buying Twitter is going to be a net benefit for all of the investors in his companies, like those who have bought Tesla. Welcome back, Peter. Good to have you.
Oh, thanks for having me back, Megyn.
Okay, so that was not correct. How'd you get it wrong?
Well, I guess I overestimated Musk's intelligence. I mean, he's obviously a smart guy, but he's not that smart. And sometimes smart people do foolish things. And I think buying Twitter is going to end up being probably the most foolish thing Musk did, if it in fact happens. I mean, if you look at where the price of Twitter is trading, the market is obviously assigning a very large probability to the deal not going through. So it's still not a certainty that it's going to be done. And I think, for Musk and probably for Tesla shareholders, I would be hoping that it doesn't get done. I think if you own Twitter, it's a great deal because Elon Musk is getting you out of jail. He's overpaying for Twitter, and Twitter's going to probably lose a lot of money while Musk owns it. But the bigger problem, and why I thought that Musk wouldn't do it, is I didn't think, he would want to sell his Tesla shares in order to buy Twitter. But I think more importantly, I didn't think he would want to pledge his Tesla shares as collateral for a loan to buy Twitter, which is what he's doing. Because, who's to say that Tesla can't do what Netflix did? I mean, Netflix is now down 70% from where it was a few months ago, and there's no bottom in sight for that stock. The same thing could happen to Tesla. Tesla's stock price is way in the stratosphere compared to its actual earnings, its valuation. And there's nothing that would prevent the stock from dropping 70% or more. But if that were to happen, he would be forced to sell those shares into a very weak market in order to repay the lender. And who knows where that transaction would be priced. It would probably have to happen at a significant discount to the market. And I think that's why you saw Twitter stock down 11-12% yesterday, and it was down 2% the day of the announcement. But people are starting to think about this possibility, and I think it's like waving a flag at a bull, or in this case, a bear, when it comes to the shorts for Twitter. I think this is a gift. They smell blood, and I would expect the shorts to be piling into that stock because they know if they can push the price down low enough, they're going to flush out Musk, and they'll be able to cover their shorts at a much lower price.
I think I understood what you're saying, but I was hanging on there by a thread. But you're basically saying he's overpaying, and that if he has to actually dip into, sell some of his Tesla shares, that's a very bad thing for Tesla, for him, and that since the value isn't in Twitter, it's smart to short this purchase. It's to bet that it's not going to work out, that it's not worth what it's trading for right now.
I don't know if the purchase is going to work out. If you think it is going to work out, I think Twitter is trading at about 48 and the deal price is 54 and change. So you make some good money if you buy it now and it goes through. But if it doesn't go through, then the question is what happens to the price of Twitter stock? It's probably going to end up being a lot lower. But my point is that the real risk is for Tesla. But, I think if Musk were to sell some Tesla stock now to buy Twitter, that's not that bad because Tesla is overvalued and so is Twitter. The risk is that he doesn't sell his Tesla. He borrows money and pledges the shares because then he could end up selling the shares at a much lower price than the price he would get if he sold it right now, because he would be selling under a distressed circumstance where the price was significantly lower than the price he could get if he sold stock now.
All right. The word that's coming to mind is buzzkill. You're a buzzkill. Come on, we're excited about this because we want him to take over Twitter to restore some semblance of balance in the big tech information wars.
Yeah, Megyn, I'm not against him owning Twitter. I mean, I use Twitter myself. I've got almost 700,000 followers. And, I agree with a lot of what Musk is saying. I mean, I would like the forum to be more open. I don't like it being policed by, the socially correct employees, the woke people who are working at Twitter. I would much rather have a guy like Musk own it. than current management. So I'm not objecting to this as somebody who uses Twitter. I think it's good for the user experience. I'm just talking about it as a financial analyst. Is it a wise transaction for Musk? And what are the implications for Tesla shareholders? I mean, I think it's great for Twitter shareholders. They get a bunch of cash and they can invest it someplace else. I think it's a risk for Tesla shareholders, and I think it's a risk for Elon Musk himself as the largest Tesla shareholder. I think he's putting a good portion of his fortune in jeopardy. Now, I don't think, he's not going to go bankrupt. He's not going to be, poor. I mean, he could lose $100 billion or more and still be very rich. So I'm not worried about Elon Musk. He has more money than he could ever spend. But a lot of the people who own his stock, they may have very large positions relative to their net worths. Those people should be selling. I mean, they are exposed to significant risk. I mean, Tesla was overpriced to begin with, but now this is another factor that could significantly weigh on the share price.
So we'll get into the connection between what happens with the Tesla stock and the Twitter stock in 1 second. But don't you think that Elon Musk actually can find efficiencies that were not being pursued by the current management, and that he will make Twitter better? I mean, he has a reputation of doing that at companies. I realize now he's got 3 massive companies to run, so he's not going to be all that available, but he's got a pretty good track record of choosing the right companies and making them work.
Oh, I'm not saying he can't make Twitter better. I mean, maybe he could make Twitter a more profitable business than it is now. Now, will he make it profitable enough so it'll be worth the $44 billion that he's paying for it? I have no idea. But my only point is that that's irrelevant to Tesla. Tesla stock. So
you're saying, okay, wait, before we get to that, because we're going to dumb it down. So you're not saying that he's not going to improve it and find efficiencies and make the company more valuable. You're not saying he can't do that. You're saying your concerns are about the financing of this deal. And I think how it could drive down the Twitter value right from the start. Okay, is that correct?
Well, the Twitter value is irrelevant to anybody but Elon Musk and his partners, because the current shareholders are going to be gone, right? They're going to get cashed out of the deal, and they walk away. Now, can Elon Musk make Twitter a more valuable company than it is today? Probably. But can he make it valuable enough to be worth the $44 billion he's paying? That's a much more difficult task, because I think he's overpaying for the company anyway, based on the assumption that he can make it far more valuable. So there's a lot of ifs there. But again, it's Elon Musk. He can take a chance. That's his money and his partners. What I'm talking about again is the vulnerable position that this puts Tesla in as a company when you've got somebody with a $12.5 billion margin loan effectively against a huge position in Tesla. And Tesla is a very expensive stock. The momentum could break. The price could collapse. Look what's happening to so many of these other momentum stocks. I think Tesla was the original meme stock. Before GameStop and AMC, Tesla really was a meme stock. It was all about Elon Musk and his personality more than the actual profitability of the company. But anything can happen to change that momentum. Look what just happened to Robinhood. Robinhood is down 90%.
Yeah.
That's the app was really popular, social media during the COVID lockdowns. This thing has imploded, and now they're laying off a good percentage of their workforce. But one stumble, one missed earnings. Tesla's most recent earnings were better, and the stock went up. But they're one earnings announcement away from a potential crash, and having a guy short or basically leveraged long in this big position is very vulnerable, because if the price falls enough, the covenants in that loan are going to require the stock to be sold.
Black Rifle Coffee Company is a veteran-founded company serving premium coffee to people who love America. They develop their explosive roast profiles with the same mission focus learned as military members serving this great country of ours. And in 2021, Black Rifle Coffee donated over 100,000 bags of coffee. That's over 2.1 million cups of coffee to first responders, law enforcement, and active duty military members. So with that every purchase you make, Black Rifle will give back. Black Rifle Coffee imports high-quality coffee beans from Colombia and Brazil, and they roast them 5 days a week at their facilities in Manchester, Tennessee, and Salt Lake City, Utah, which means you get the freshest coffee possible no matter where you live. The best way to enjoy Black Rifle's freedom-filled coffee is with the Black Rifle Coffee Club. When you join the club, your brew of choice is roasted, packaged, and shipped free to your door on your schedule. You can buy it at blackriflecoffee.com. Use the code MK at checkout for 20% off your purchase and your first coffee club order. That's blackriflecoffee.com/MK and use the code MK at checkout. Black Rifle Coffee, America's coffee. Hey, thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.